It was a really tough bike ride up here. Hi, my name's Jeremy. I'm going to Taiwan for a bicycle journey that will last 16 days. So I got here the stuff that I'm going to wear on the airplane. I got running shoes, which I think would be good for hiking out in the parks out there, as well as some pants that zip off into shorts, should I need them, you know, for the fashion. And then I have my carry-on luggage. My carry-on luggage has a water bottle in it, indispensable, of course. I got some headphones, medications, and a mask for the airplane, as well as some earplugs. And then I have to carry all of the things that have lithium batteries in it.
What's this?
That's a sleep pillow. This is where I have the GoPro camera, as well as a little case for it. Another bag with another lithium ion battery, a plug in order to charge things.
Like a cell phone charger?
Mm-hmm.
And then a wall charger, charging cables, of course.
I got the Garmin to help navigate. You have to load special maps to go on to Taiwan. Garmin doesn't even provide those maps. It's like an open map thing that you have to export the file and put it in there. So that took a little bit of time, but I pulled it up and it is on the screen there now.
Because this uses way less battery than a cell phone for navigating on a bike for a long trip, right?
Well, that's true, yeah. And also, if you're in the rain, when the rain hits your cell phone, it'll make it so that it recognizes the rain, but not your fingers swiping on it. So you could potentially get lost because you're unable to operate your phone if you were using that to navigate.
Nice. And this is a battery light.
You
Gotta
carry
be
it
in
on.
the carry-on.
And then I have a notebook, a little guide for getting around Taipei for the couple days that I'm there, and my passport here.
Nice. And then once you don't need that carry-on, it's a very small bag. It collapses very small.
Yeah, it has this little bag inside the bag that it would technically fit down into if you ever wanted to collapse it. But I think this is actually a waterproof. It's very thin nylon, and it's supposedly somewhat water resistant, at least enough for rain and stuff. And so I'm planning on just like kind of bungeeing this to maybe the top of the rack there. I have here bungees to kind of help secure bike items. I've got 2 rear tail lights. I have the radar Vario one, and then I have just kind of a basic blinky light for like if I'm in a city and I don't want to be alerted to the fact that there's tons of cars around me. Sometimes those radar things can become kind of a hassle when it's just giving you alerts about cars that you know are there. This here is a lanyard to put the little GoPro on, which I'm hopefully going to take a little video of hiking out in the nature just to send it back to Kate so that she knows what I'm doing there.
We're very thankful for that.
And let's see what else I got. So this is like a bungee net that has some hooks on it, which would be good for maybe securing something to the top of a bike rack. And then I have some various mounting supplies here. So these are the clothes. So I have a couple of bicycle jerseys. I have some swim trunks, extra underwear, and 2 t-shirts total. And so then I'm gonna have some laundry detergent so I can hopefully wash these out in the sink or something like that. Rain poncho, that is, it collapses to a pretty small place. So
We vacuum sealed it.
yeah, we vacuum sealed. Got my other water bottle here. And then this here is a pack that goes underneath the seat.
Okay, so this is your toiletries.
Yeah, so I got some sunscreen here. This is like a shampoo conditioner in case the place that I'm at doesn't have it or I can't read the directions as to what's what. These are some laundry detergent. I think they're like Woolite, good for hand washing. I got a couple of these little contact lens things and contact lens case. Some hair gel, which is not going to be too useful because I'm going to have a helmet on a lot of the time. Some Vaseline here. Some deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, some mosquito repellent, and some Tums. And some floss.
Little pair of scissors in there.
Yeah,
little
pair of
foldable
scissors in there.
scissors. Oh, some shaving cream that we transferred into these little containers.
So I have my cycling shoes here. I have the seat to go on my bike because it's never good to get a new seat that you don't like and then have to ride on it, and as well as the pedals that go with the shoes. The last item here is my helmet. I'm kind of wrapped up in this bubble wrap here that will hopefully keep it protected from all of the weird things that happen in airport luggage machines.
All right. So here's all of the supplies that fit in this little pouch that goes under the seat. So these could just be left on a bicycle, so you'd always have them even if his luggage is already dropped off at a hotel for the day or whatever. Okay, so in the lid of the compartment, we've got a small thing of sunscreen, some SPF lip gloss, some Tums, a little flosser, a handy wipe. We also have all sorts of pills in here. We've got Advil, Aleve, aspirin, Imitrex, Sudafed, Zyrtec, caffeine pills, electrolytes, a little bit of candy, Imodium AD, Pepcid Complete, and famotidine, and they're all in these little tiny labeled things with the instructions. My husband's a pharmacist, so he probably doesn't need the instructions, but then here's a bike tool. It's got all the Allen wrenches and stuff. This is some sort of chain tool, some zip ties for attaching things to a bike. These are, I guess, tire tools if you have to change a tire. And we got this little multi-tool with scissors and pliers. And there's a nail file and a knife and some screwdrivers on this as well. Then there's a little plastic bag of things for cleaning up. So gloves in case you used to change the chain because it gets all greasy on your hands. Another handy wipe, a shop towel that's been vacuum sealed so that it's smaller than a fluffy shop towel normally is. And then this is one of those towels that you activate with water, which my husband tried to eat when I first showed it to him, so I had to label it towel. Then we got another little Ziploc with all these tools and fasteners in it. So we've got an all-weather matches, a couple all-weather matches, a really nice rubber band, safety pins, some good twist ties. Very importantly, we've got both electrical tape and duct tape, a mini bungee, a fork, could be used to start a fire as well if you needed to keep warm. Little chain bits for bike repair. This is a bike tire repair kit, some tweezers. You never know when you get a splinter. Okay, then we got another package of Band-Aids and ointments. So we got some hydrocortisone, some antibiotic cream, antiseptic wipes, some Afterbite, a little bit of bug spray in a wipe form, moleskin, Band-Aids in a whole assortment of sizes. Then, just in case, because we don't know what he's gonna find there, we got dust protection and COVID mask in there. And yeah, and all of this fits pretty nicely in this pouch. Ready?
Yeah. We got 21 pounds, so not too bad for a bicycle trip.
And that includes even the clothes you'll be wearing on your body and your shoes that'll be on your feet.
Okay.
Good luck, Jeremy.
Thank you.
Bon voyage.
All right, I made it through security, and you see behind me the largest duty-free shop that I've seen in a little while. The flight itself is just after midnight, and it kind of makes it a weird time because we're going to be flying through the night. The sun's not going to rise, and despite getting here Friday night to check in for the midnight flight on Saturday, we're going to arrive Sunday at 5 a.m. and the sun's not going to rise the whole time. And then on the way back, the sun's going to rise and set, and we're going to arrive sooner than we actually left per the clock. And that's just the international dateline doing its magic. But yeah, when I checked in, they gave me this cute little Hello Kitty luggage tag, which makes me feel like my trip has started. I had an alright flight over here. Right now I'm underneath a train, and it's pretty quiet here because it's Sunday, it's the morning. The flight, we had 2 meals on it. We had a meal, and then after a couple hours they turned the lights off, and then they woke us up, had another meal, and they were both pretty good. You had kind of an American choice and an Asian choice. There were some interesting things though, like they had a potato salad with smoked salmon as one of the sides as the dishes, and I was like, oh, it's potato salad, nice. There were also, if you were awake during the time the lights were out, there were lots of flight attendants walking around with cups of water and food and stuff, just kind of waving them around. It's almost like a baseball game, but with the lights out and them being quiet. I met one person on the plane who was from St. Louis, and she was telling me about a entomologist that took a hive of bees from France to New York on an overnight flight, and then when they were brought to New York, they went out looking for flowers at their regular time for Paris. So now we know that bees can experience jet lag as well. Not sure what to do with that information, but I was very impressed that somebody managed to get bees through customs as well as putting them on a plane, maybe with other people. I wouldn't want to be on that plane. And then also sat next to a Serbian guy from South Milwaukee who was kind of out of it when he first got on the plane, but he kind of got back to himself, I guess. He smoked in the bathrooms repeatedly throughout the flight, and you know, kind of caused a little bit of trouble. But he gave me a couple of mandarin oranges, and he told him about his girlfriend in the Philippines that he was going to go see. So I don't know, hope he has a good trip. And yeah, now I am here. It is about 9 a.m. and I'm just waiting to pick up my bike in a little bit when Matthew Bike opens down the street. Alright, this is my current setup. It's a nice little kind of hybrid bike. Got the seat way up there, and got plenty of room for all this stuff, which I'm currently rearranging onto the bridge here, which is the start of a bike path going into town. I'm just so distracted by everything, I keep missing my turn. Okay, the Baseball Championship Taipei Open. Once again, about to miss my turn because of the stuff going on. Day 3, it feels like it's been a week. Today we're going to go to Sun Moon Lake, and this is a 700-meter climb. It's kind of a gradual slope, except for a little bit at the end. There's maybe about a mile or two that looks like it could be kind of steep, but overall it looks like it's going to be about a 1% to 2% grade. There's a little bit of variations in there. It's been challenging because it's been a lot hotter than I anticipated. It's about 85 degrees, and it's kind of at those higher temperatures where I sweat and the sweat evaporates, but it goes through water really quickly. So about 6-hour cycling, going through about 3 gallons of water. And you know, it might be a little bit more or less time than that, a little bit more or less water than that, but it's made it challenging because I don't want to carry all that water up the hill. I gotta keep tabs on how much I have left and figure out where the convenience stores are, because it's pretty hot. It's also gotten sunny, and so a lot of sunscreen everywhere. But I am looking forward to Sun Moon Lake.
This isn't an official part of the route. I think that the route up to Sun Moon is like 1-3, but it starts getting a little bit hairy as to whether I was going the right way, and Google Maps said, hey, this looks like a nice way. I gotta agree, there's rice there on the right. I recognize it because I played Tears of the Kingdom from Zelda, and that's what the item looks like in inventory. So they were not too happy to have me bicycling through the rock quarry. So now we're going to go a different way. And hopefully this one will get me to civilization, where I can get some water. Maybe. I don't know. Google just keeps trying to take me through a quarry. How about a similar ETA without a quarry? I'm not allowed in the quarry. So after all that, I'm now 2 kilometers closer to the destination. And I think I'm maybe back on track. Google Maps is doing its magic. Ooh, there's a car. Alright, so I stopped riding for a moment because I parked my bike over here, but I saw this bridge here, which I thought looks pretty cool, and I got this sign saying, according to the Translate app, I fathom this to sea, so check that out. Alright, so I have arrived in Sun Moon Lake. It was a really tough bike ride up here. This is the view outside of the window, and we got this nice little chair to sit in. Got this bed, rather big TV, and nice little shower with a kind of little tiny little tub. And let's see, let's come on outside here. Just took a shower. There's the view of the sunset over the lake. bit of a hike to get up here, but it's a beautiful view. Over on my right, looks like grape tomatoes. So this is my room. We have a bathroom. I got a little toilet washlet thing. This, by the way, is a window that goes out into the hallway. So kind of weird thing to have in a bathroom. The water is from a sulfur spring. So it's a hot spring, sulfur, kind of smells really sulfurous. But apparently it's a good thing to bathe in. And come out here, you can see the sunset out there, and coming around
The other side, way out there, is the southernmost tip of Taiwan. I'm probably not going to ride out there because it is a very pointy tip, and then you have to go all the way down and all the way back, and it takes probably another hour of riding. This here is a little tub that I can fill up with that spring water that smells very sulfurous and bathe in it, so I'm going to try that out later tonight. And I think right now I'm going to go out for a little walk. Up the road there is a sashimi restaurant, and I think I can probably point to the menu and figure things out there. And then tomorrow I am hopefully going to see some capybaras, which is one of Kate's favorite creatures, so she might be a little bit jealous. They can also apparently swim with them, but I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. I don't know. Being in the same water as the capybaras, I don't want to suffer an infection. We'll see. Find out what's down here. Looks like it's a path. Maybe down to the ocean? Ooh, lizard! Oh my god. Almost stepped on you. Oh, there's 2 lizards. Happy about the number of cats that are in this park. That's not a clip here. Oh, he's on there too. So the reason there's so many cats on the island is because of that little rock down there, which is in the shape of a crouched cat. So that is called Cat Island. And then they also have a cute little dome made out of plaster. It's also in a cat form. So I saw this poster and I thought, oh, a map of the park. I'm gonna figure out where I should walk to. And instead, no, it is a description of what to do in a nuclear emergency and the types of alerts that they issue due to, I guess, the 3rd nuclear power plant, originally named there, which is kind of right in between these 2 parks. Oh, maybe we can see it from here. Oh.
Less petty, more carrot. Less pets, more carrots. Okay, yeah. Yeah, this is surprisingly not the same deer. Yes? You also like carrots. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Just walking along. Yep, hold on. Oh. Yeah. We love you too. Alright. Yes. Each get one. Yes. No, you already got one. It's a lot of carrots. I think cannot wait. This guy, I guess, is called Hard Boy? Food. This is the trail to the southernmost point. All the ways to go. The trees are so thick that it could actually just be 20 meters away and I wouldn't really know. But I'm impressed that they carved this through here. And they keep it pretty clean too, because anytime they don't cut away all the brush, it will grow in very, very quickly. This is the meteorological radar station for the south of Taiwan. Or I guess whatever that sign says. I also like to point out fun picture ideas that are included. You can make it look like you're kicking a soccer ball or holding it up on your finger. Alright, just gonna step into a relaxing All right, this is my hotel room tonight. So it is, yeah, I guess it has probably 15-foot ceilings in a plain white room with a bed. And then it's got this, you know, your kind of your standard shower in the room sort of thing going on. Has the air conditioner, which operates pretty quietly. Hopefully it's actually going to work here soon. And then out here, they have this. You got your Japanese bathing bucket. I think this fills with water. You sit on this seat and dump water over yourself. But I don't know. This also has the little door that can fold down, I guess. And then there's this garage door here, which is on tracks for some reason. It looks like the tracks are fixed, so I guess that can maybe keep weather out if it was raining. But I'm not entirely sure. I just took a shower, so I guess if I'm going to be daring and try that, I'm going to have to do it a little bit later tonight. All right, tonight I have a double room for some reason. I don't remember booking a double room. I guess I'll enjoy the four waters there. It has a garden view. And then it has its own little balcony out here, where you can sit and have some tea, I guess. Not sure what kind of trees or what sort of orchard that is. It looked a little bit like some sort of large oranges or grapefruit when I was coming in. And then we got, once again, a tub with some instructions here. And also a window going out to that garden. And also maybe see somebody farming out there in the background. But yeah, it looks like an alright place. I basically picked it because it's got a big breakfast. Unfortunately, it's a little ways away from any other place that has food, so I have to figure out what I'm gonna eat tonight. Alright, I'm in the fanciest hotel room I've ever been in my entire life. So we have here well, first of all, look at this telephone. Where do you even get these things? And then the ceiling is some sort of crazy decorated thing. We have what is supposedly the most beautiful view in the hotel here. I don't know, he probably says that for every room. But a nice little place to sit out, watch the fishing boat. And we got this tub, which is, I'm not sure, I don't think that it actually fits me. I don't know if I can fit in that tub. It's actually kind of small. You got this crazy beach view thing, and then this toilet that I kind of panicked
because I didn't know how to flush it. There's like no plugging to flush it, I guess. But when you close the lid, it just flushes. So yeah. Also, the hotel has unlimited Pringles, off-brand Pringles, and off-brand Pocky Sticks. I'm making use of that. The curtains are automatic, so you press this button, goes around that chaise lounge. If I sound a little bit panicked at how crazy nice this is, it's because I can't wrap my head around it, and I don't know how anybody else can. In addition to the free Pringles, they have Polish tea. He wanted to tell me this is the best tea and that they usually only put it on the shelf as ornamentation. But here, they brew with the Polish tea. I don't know. Kind of weird I came all the way here for Polish tea, but I guess if that's the best, we'll go with it. This is the outside of the hotel at night. Dolphin mailbox. Welcome, written in rhinestones. This sculpture of a horse. So the guy from the hotel later clarified that it is a Polish teapot made in Poland and hand painted. But also he was very excited about the Dyson hair dryer, which I guess comes in a leather case. Has numerous brush attachments. Didn't even realize that Dyson made something like this. And I guess this is the little wand thing that plugs in. I know that in some cultures, I think China, there's a myth that if women do not dry their hair, they will catch cold. And so they always have really good hair dryers here at any hotel, but the nice hotels will, I guess, have something like this. This is the hallway. It's pointed out that this is a functioning clock. You can, I guess, put some key in there, wind it up, and it'll chime if you want stuff. Not sure what's behind this door, but it's pretty heavy. And then we got just paintings. This is the door of my room. And they have this, which he says Turkey. And of course, light up ceilings like everywhere. Alright, so up on the rooftop we got this beautiful view down onto the beach. You get plenty of statues. And we got this cool little spa pool. This is, I guess, a little glass area where they're going to move the afternoon tea to next year.
like that the instructions just say, watch out. The water is really blue. Despite the number of people on the buses, which is quite high, there's not actually that many people on the road. It's the kind of thing that I would consider biking, but it's all uphill, and if something happened where I needed to ride back down, I don't exactly know how I would do it. Also, we're going pretty slow around the cars that do exist around here. Not dilly-dally in the tunnel unless it's in case there's a tour bus coming or something. I think tour buses are the most common way that people see the gorge. There's also a lot of rock fall warnings. This is these are not really held on very tight. This is the Tunnel of 9 Turns. Probably one of the more famous places in Taroko Gorge. Time to play how many types of tile? We've got 1, not technically tile, 2, 3, it's actually different down there, 4, 5, that's probably just a cut piece of countertop. Let's see, 6, not tile. Let's see. 7. That is an access panel, but it's tiled. 8. That is a decorative tile. 9. Let's see, again, not tile. Let's see, 10. 11. Did I skip 11? I don't know. 12, 13, 14, think that is it. Just a mere 14 different types of tile making up this hotel room. This is the bar area. 3 different types of saxophones. All reeded up and ready to go. You take your pick. Yes, there's live music here. Probably on the weekends. It's an actual functioning speaker system. Shaped like that.
Outside the bar, we have the 7D cinema, which is, I guess, a cinema that is like a ride from Disney World. So there's air blowers, the screen, chairs that shake, a bunch of projectors, but that's on Zoom.
So today I'm going to go through a old tunnel that used to be used for something else, but now it's just a bike lane. So this is going to be hopefully pretty cool. I have zip tied a case to my handlebars, but you know, due to the actual mount breaking, it's going to have that little Garmin mount there in the corner. Sorry about that. Bye-bye. Bye. That's the way to travel. Hello. Because you can never really tell if you're going uphill or downhill here, other than that my bike sometimes wants to go faster and sometimes slower. It is pretty flat overall though. Alright, so this is local bypass highway 2C. I think it's C, it's a Chinese character, but it's like kind of lettered. The Highway 2 is the main road where there's all the big trucks and stuff. This looks paved really well, but it's supposedly a lot less busy. And so hopefully there won't be a lot of traffic, won't be a lot of trucks. It seems like there's a pretty good bicycle lane and to be shared with scooters. So I'm going to try to keep off to the right. The scooters are in the United States kind of max out at 50 cc, whereas the scooters here tend to be between 100 and 200 cc, so kind of like a small motorcycle, which means that they certainly can zip by you pretty fast, although you know there's plenty of room, and the scooters definitely don't want to hit me either. So the other good thing about scooters is that you can hear them a mile away. There's no real sneaking up on you like you get with some cars. Got a short tunnel. Usually don't have a lot of extra space in the tunnel, so it's always good when they're short. Alright, rain covers engaged. Hopefully there's a 7-Eleven at the bottom of the hill. Alright, I am back underneath the bridge where I started, right next to Matthew Bike. The only thing that makes Taipei navigable to bicycles is the fact that pretty much every river has a bike trail next to it, and you can actually go a very long ways. If you look at a map of Taipei, you see that there's like a lot of rivers winding around, and so you can pretty much get where you need to go. You just might have to go a little bit further because you're following a winding river, and then you get off the river wherever you're closest to. And that also is why there's a lot of people. There's like some kids who are riding bikes at night with lights on their bike because people like to be out at this time of night doing bicycle activities, and all that they really need is a headlight, and a lot of the trail is illuminated too. This is a couple of zip ties on a GoPro case. This is what I was holding it up earlier, and then I guess the Garmin support here was preventing it from falling. That's it, everything worked out really well, and so I'm done. I'm gonna turn this sucker in. Tire is just fine, the shifting worked great. I did have a back flat tire once, but it's just because I was being a little bit rough taking the pump off of the valve, and then got kind of a hole right at the base of the valve there, and so I just tossed another tube on and it worked just fine. But yeah, been a real fun time. Now I just have to find a hotel room. It's getting kind of dark, but it's still in at 5 p.m. Hopefully I won't be sleeping underneath this bridge as well, but I guess we will see. Alright, it is a rainy day in Taipei, and it is time to play the game How Do You Know If You Accidentally Booked an Asian Sex Hotel. First off, there's going to be a guardhouse, and they're going to have you just kind of drive in here, and you can shut the door behind you. That way, if your car is parked here, nobody can see it parked. It is in this safe space. And if somebody was in that car, nobody has to see them get out of the car with you. Nobody has to be like, hey, who's that getting out of the car with Chairman Kaga? And then you go up the stairs. Architecturally, I guess this just makes sense. If you're gonna have people park, you gotta have the rooms above them. Got your little private corridor. And then another funny thing about this is that all of the lights and the air conditioning are going to be controlled by a random appliance that is shrink wrapped, and you won't know what it is in advance. So you take your hotel key here, put it in. Now this here, it's hard to see. It says your lights and your air conditioning are controlled by the telephone. So we just hop on over to the telephone, which is conveniently shrink wrapped, and turn the lights off, turn the lights on. All right, we're in business. And then the air conditioning control is up here. You gotta translate that yourself. And then we got the furniture. I have this very uncomfortable to sit on couch. All right, now that Kate has edited out all the super dirty parts, we can see some of the other amenities of the hotel. You can order up some outfits for any sort of hotel guest, including geisha, leopard, French maid. Quite a variety there. There's also a swimsuit catalog in case you were looking to shop for swimsuits, I guess. Over here, this sign above the TV, I guess, can be illuminated by the front desk. It says, "Your delivery is here," is the translation that I get. I'm not sure what that means. I guess I'm not going to find out. Down here by the bedstand, we have a cartoon cat themed condom and lubricant that says, "Making sure your sexual behavior is safer and more comfortable." That's kind of disturbing, I guess. Yeah, sure. Your standard hot tub, your shower and whatnot. You might be wondering, hey, where's the window to this place? Well, don't worry. It's behind this mirrored door. You can open this up, and should you need to look out the window, you just open up this. Man, that is a giant hinged door. It looks like there was at one point like a peephole back here, but now it is covered up by painting, so we can't do any sort of Scooby-Doo antics or anything like that. And yeah, that's the place. If you notice any of these signs, maybe book a different hotel or change your plans. Alright, so it is a rainy day in Taipei. It's the dry season, but you kind of get these sort of misty days. Like the whole month will have about an inch of precipitation, but it just kind of comes down in little tiny drops. Right now I am walking to Taipei 101, and since it's kind of a misty rain, I'm not sure how well the visibility is, but the top of the tower looks like it's somewhat visible from here. It's kind of got clouds going over it, and so I'm gonna give it a try, and or maybe I don't know, maybe I'll go tomorrow. I don't know, but it's kind of raining, so I'm gonna try to do some indoor shopping today. There's some sort of massive bicycling event. Not sure how I missed out on this one, but it does seem like kind of a bad day to be riding. It is, I guess, the Taiwan Cycling Festival. Those little buttons on the building, they look rationally sized in pictures, but when you're standing underneath them, you realize that it's actually about 6 stories high. I guess if you like Neon Genesis Evangelion, we've got, I'm not exactly sure what this is. So underneath the financial building of 101, we have, it looks like Din Tai Fung, which is, I believe, a Michelin-starred dumpling restaurant. So I don't know if I can afford it, but they're not open anyway, so I think I'm gonna have to come back here. The mall and the observatory don't open until like 10 or 11. It's the Chiang Kai-shek Memorial Hall. Buildings are pretty huge. They have a pretty big museum in the first floor of the Memorial Hall. They didn't allow photographs in there, but everyone took photographs. But seeing as I'm the only white guy, I'm following the rules. But it is a lot of marble, really impressive. So this is the crazy multi-story shopping mall. We got Yves Saint Laurent back there, Tiffany & Company, Louis Vuitton, other brands that I have not heard of, Versace, and yeah, looks pretty expensive. This here is the Damper Baby, the
mascot of the tuned damper in Taipei 101. So this is 660 tons, and during a recent typhoon it swayed back and forth by about a meter. So this is the sky deck. You can see it's very cloudy out here. We're kind of spattering down rain. It's a place where you can take a cooking class. Just ran across a craft fair expo. Some Yilan onion pies. Yilan is over by Hualien, and Xing told me to go to a stop there for onion pies, and I did not. So hopefully this makes up for it. So what I actually happened upon is the Taiwan Expo Farmers Market, which is apparently a good place to get some tea. But then there's also this weird anime thing going on with a lot of people dressed up in anime stuff. And there's a huge banquet hall with tables and drinks and stuff. I don't know. So super fresh mochi. Just what I was looking for. That is a big old tree. Well, either this is stinky tofu here, or something has gone terribly wrong with it. One of the two. So a lot of the buildings have bars over the windows. And I know that in Japan they do that a lot too. And I was wondering why, so I looked it up. And it looks like even though the crime rate is super low, if 99% of the people have bars over their windows, then whatever that little tiny crime rate is kind of goes to the ones that don't have bars on their windows. And yeah, that's why. It's a beautiful rainy day at Yeliu. Also nice and cold, which I can appreciate after being in the heat for so long.
The coffee shop, most of the IG celebrity, they will take a picture.
The path goes out a really long ways, way past that antenna there, but it's closed for the last bit because of the weather. They basically need more security guards on days like this to keep people from going too close to the waves, crossing the red lines or the railings or something. They just don't
have that many, so they dedicate them to the first half of it. These the Taiwanese Niagara Falls, and having never been to the Niagara Falls, I totally agree.
Let it go!
Alright, this is Yanshan Park. Going for a quick walk to get us to the top of Elephant Mountain, which overlooks the financial district in 101. I got about 3 hours before I have to get back to the metro station for the flight, so I'm just gonna go explore around. There is a lot of stairs. This is definitely a cool system of trails. I'm really glad that I didn't just go straight to the top of Elephant Mountain and come back the same way. This way should get me back much the same, but it's a little bit more quiet, windy, and through the forest.
Jeremy safe and sound from the airport. Was it a good trip?
Yes,
Yeah? All right.
best trip ever. So I just went on a trip around Taiwan riding my bicycle alone, and it took about 9 days of riding plus another few days of rest. So I have a list of frequently asked questions that Kate gets, and I'm gonna try to answer them. Did you really bike alone and carry all of your stuff? Yes, I had 2 pairs of regular clothes, 2 pairs of athletic clothes. Where did you get the idea to do this, and why Taiwan? Well, in about 2017, maybe a year or 2 before that, Taiwan created this cycling route around the island. They have a lot of bicyclists and kind of a strong bicycle culture, and so they wanted to create this route that a lot of it's on kind of like small highways, some of it's on bike trails, but it goes around the entire island.
and a number of other people have taken them up on this and gone around the island. The Taiwan tourism board was serving me ads on Facebook, and they had this whole guide of like, you know, day 1 do this, day 2 do that, and it looked, you know, pretty doable. It looked like it was about like 60 miles a day typically on the bicycle. So that seems, you know, pretty achievable and kind of interesting. You know, the island is about the size of South Carolina, and so it's something that if you went there for 2 weeks, it seems like you could kind of see everything that you needed to see. Have I ever been to Asia before? No, I've not been to Asia before. I've been to Chinatown in Chicago. That's as close as I've come. Did you fear for your safety from crime ever, or did you ever have to worry about dangerous neighborhoods? There's not a lot of crime. Did the population generally seem well off? Did you see people in the streets in need? Maybe saw one homeless person that was like camped out of sight of a church. But I would say that everyone is kind of having their needs met. How is the weather? Is it normal for this time of year? It is hot. You know, bicycling is about 90 degrees, and that was way too hot for me. I was drinking like a gallon of water every hour and a half or so that I was biking, just stopping at all of the 7-Elevens to get tons of water. Whereas when I got back here, now it's kind of normal. It's in the low 70s, which is normal for this time of year. It was misty earlier today, but it dried off as the sun has come out, and it's the dry season, so like the whole month there's probably going to be about 1 inch of rain, but for the most part you're not going to have a whole lot of heavy precipitation. You just kind of have like mists in the morning every day or two each week. Did you feel healthy? Did you drink the water? You can drink the water if you want there. You might get a tummy ache. A lot of people have filters in hotels or in their home, and so I would just kind of go to the hotel water dispenser and fill up the bottle there. But apparently it's very safe to drink, although some people say, hey, it takes a little while to get used to. It seemed like the quality of roads were great, but maybe there are more highways and fewer bike paths than ideal. I would say that about 10% of it was on bike paths, and then the other 90% would be down kind of these rural highways at about 35 to 45 mile per hour speed limit, and there'd be a scooter lane. You'd take the scooter lane. During the west side of the island, it'd be super busy, so there'd be lots of scooters passing you. But on the east side of the island, you pretty much have the lane to yourself. There'd also be a pretty big shoulder to the right of the scooter lane too. So there's plenty of room for everybody, and for the most part, everyone's looking out for you. It wasn't too bad except for riding in the cities. Best night market in Taipei, probably the Rohe night market. The Shilin night market is the most famous one, but that one's just kind of like a carnival of noise and people crowding together. How many miles did you go generally each day that you biked? 60. How many miles did you bike total? I think the whole route around is like 550 miles. I think I biked like 450 miles. So took some trains when I had to go through some like denser cities and didn't really want to do it. How difficult was the biking? Did you ever feel like it was too much? The biking was good. The elevation going up to Sun Moon Lake was really hard, particularly because it was a little bit more elevation change than I expected based on the route. And so by the end of the day, it was an entire day, 12 hours of biking, resting, going up a big hill, and that was a lot. Did you pack the right things? Did you throw anything away or wish you didn't bring anything? I think I brought the right things. I wish that I maybe brought an extra pair of clothes because it was so hot. I'd get those clothes kind of sweaty pretty quickly, and then I'd have to wash them and go through many different wash cycles. We were able to buy clothes in Taiwan. Sizes do go up to people as big as me. They might just have a different name. So like if you wear a large, you might be getting a 2XL. If you get an extra large, you might be getting 3XL. You know, I have to try to figure it out. What were your favorite parts of the trip? I think going around the southern tip, there's a place where we're going through some rural roads kind of through the jungle. You can probably find the video for that. And that was really fun. And probably also the Taroko Gorge was a very beautiful place to go to. There's also great national parks there with a lot of different nature that's different than what you see here. And so if you have the opportunity to go to national park there and go hiking around, it's definitely worthwhile. What aspects were harder than you expected? Probably the heat. The heat, humidity was a lot hotter than I expected. How did you find the general culture of Taiwan? Everyone follows the rules very well there, which is great for bicyclists because they'll stop before the crosswalks. They won't run red lights, and they're generally looking out for you pretty well. They follow the rules by standing in line, and yeah, you have to get used to knowing what you're doing so that you're not doing the wrong thing there, because there might be rules that are written in Chinese that you don't know about just yet. But once you get the hang of it, it's very nice because there aren't people butting in front of other people or being rude or anything like that. Everyone's very polite and good at following rules there. Did you get to know any new people that you met? I met a teacher of English in Taipei. Seems like a lot of the people who are white and residents there teach English. Was I lonesome? Well, it was a big time change, and so there's only a few hours a day that I could call home and talk to the people that I love here. And then when I was there, it was kind of hard to talk to people there. So I'm kind of glad to be back. I don't know that I necessarily felt lonesome because I didn't feel entirely disconnected from home. But I think some of that is enabled by the internet and stuff like that. Am I glad that I went? Absolutely. You should go too. I guess I would say that I would love to come back someday. But it's like if you went to visit the Grand Canyon, it's not something that you necessarily need to go back right away. But maybe some years from now, I'll find myself back there. And hopefully I'll bring Kate too. What would you do differently if you're advising someone planning the same trip? Because of the tourism being mostly domestic tourism, you should be conscious of the fact that certain areas, certain roads, and certain hotels might be busier during the weekends than they are during the weekdays. How did you go navigating the towns with language barrier? The signs are in English and Chinese, and for the most part it goes pretty well. Google Maps works really well there. Did people speak English, and were there signs in English? People speak English to some degree in Taipei. When you get outside of Taipei, some people who are in hotels might speak a little bit of English, but you're probably going to be using Google Translate more when you are outside of Taipei. Whereas in Taipei, they'll probably know enough to get you the cup of coffee that you ordered or check you into the hotel that you're checking into and stuff like that. But there's despite having a lot of English being taught in schools, not a lot of English speaking going on. Did I have cellular internet coverage everywhere? Absolutely. There's great cellular internet coverage. You can go in a train through a tunnel, have cellular internet coverage the whole way, great reception everywhere. Wish it was like that here. Was Google Translate useful? The speech to text, like voice recognition kind of things were not that great, but you could take a picture of a sign and it would translate it, and it worked really well. And if you type something in and you showed it to somebody, that was particularly helpful. Was figuring out the trains and how to ride them easily. It was. There's some things with taking your bicycle on a train that you kind of get used to, and the timetables are very straightforward. If you type in your location, your destination into Google Maps, it'll tell you exactly when to leave and when the trains are scheduled for, or when the buses are scheduled for. The trains and buses are paid for by like an Easy Pass. So you scan on to get on the train, and then you scan to get off the train, and it calculates how many miles you went, and then it deducts the fare from that. And so you only really need one card for any public transportation in the whole country, which is really nice. And then the Taiwan Rails website has a pretty good scheduling thing where you can look up, hey, I want to get from this train station to that train station. How do I do it? And it'll figure it out for you. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions about your own itinerary, you could ask me, or if you have any other questions, you can ask me. Thanks for listening. Have a good day.